She's a girl.
Game peek. Bro, this guy is delusional on like 4 different levels. Ajita, can you stop speaking for me? I'm gonna fucking punch you. Oh my god, I'm not supposed to be cursing. Oh my god. Wait, he's running. Okay.
Yo, he
Games
went for
are
that
easier
plan.
than silver
Didn't care.
games.
I haven't even done anything.
Hey Kai, how's that? Yeah, I'm an idiot, that's all. So I'm looking through the switches for Nmap here, and I'm trying to find the loud ones. Not one that I'm used to using, but we'll see if we can find the quiz on. I mean, here's OS scan guess. Looks like it's going to be a single tack. Tack and a single letter. I'm trying to find the one for aggressive scans. That one I actually don't see in the help file. Tack capital A. Yeah, I mean, that enables everything. Yeah, sure. Okay, how do I set timing to the max level? Tack T 5. And what if I want to scan a specific port? Dash P. Scan every port. Dash P dash. See if I can show you where those things are in the help menu. Right, there's the dash P. If I run a script, well, then it's dash dash script equals. What if I want to run all scripts out of the vulnerability category? What if I want to run all so let's go to dash dash script help. We can also go to the Nmap help page. Okay, so here's a whole thing on Nmap categories, Nmap scripts. So let's see. Whoops. Oops, if I type a little bit better here. Yeah, so if you do dash dash script space vuln, it'll run every script on the vulnerability category. And if I don't want to ping the host, maybe tack SI idle scan. I don't know on this one either. A lot of these you won't wind up using in your day-to-day. So nope, that's not correct. Let's see, input, choose random targets, exclude, list targets to scan, -SN, ping scan, disable port scan. -PN, skip host discovery, right? So maybe I don't need a P, I assume it's up. So -PN. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's do some actual scanning. Save my, yep, okay, sweet. So, yeah, this will probably be a short one today. So perform some basic Nmap scanning, learn to read through the results. So, perform a SYN scan. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to type Nmap, and then let's go to that SYN scan. So TCP skin, or sorry, TCP. Jesus, I'm losing my mind today. All right, TAC SS. Okay, so we're going to do TCP or Nmap space TAC S capital S. That's without the IP address. So let's go ahead and run that. So Nmap 10.10.121.237 for me. You can put the switches at the beginning, you can put the switch at the end, it didn't matter. We'll go ahead and run that and scan that host. Really? Let's go back to access and make sure that I'm connected. Yep, I am connected to their place here. Okay, so let's try that again. So my machine is up here 121.10.10.121.237. That is correct. Try that one more time. Host seems down. Okay, so let's assume they're up. So I don't know if it's actually wanting me to say 0 here. Yeah, not so much. So that's something I'll have to throw at them in the chat. So again, a lot of this stuff is something I would kick off and then go work on other stuff, some passive reconnaissance or something on this. Wonder why it's not behaving. If this doesn't work, I'll probably kill the VPN connection and bring it back up. Actually, you know what? I want this to behave the right way for you guys, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Just bring back Callie down and up really quick. So while that happens, who do we have in chat today? Okay, InventKin, my bot, and myself. Sweet. Okay, so luckily on the VM side, Kali doesn't use a lot of resources. Comes down and up super quick. Okay, so we're right back at it. Close out the Kali page. Let's see, it still thinks I'm connected here. That's cute. I am certainly not connected. Sudo openvpn actual tom.ovpn. Alright, initialization sequence completed yet again. So let's give this one more shot. So maybe we'll do 2 rooms. So maybe we'll work on blue a little bit today, or maybe we'll save that for this evening. A Fallen Hope, it's just habit for me. There's no requirement. I am logged in as root, you're absolutely right. I'm used to the 2020 version of Kali. I've been bouncing back and forth a lot, and that you have to use sudo. There's no requirement there. It would work just fine either way. Alright, so let's see if this works as required. Alright, yeah, so something's behaving better now. Okay, so I have 2 ports that I find open under 1,000. Hey, that answer is correct. What communication protocol is given for these ports following the port number? So these are TCP ports. This is all TCP. Forming a service version detection scan. What is the version of the software running on port 22? Hooyah. So if we go back and look at our quiz, service version is TAC SV. So we'll just go TAC SS, TAC SV. Same thing here, it'll scan the top 1,000 ports. And this one will take a little bit longer. Not bad though. So now we'll go to the Nmap scanning quiz again. What is the version of the software running on port 22? It looks like it is 6.6.1 P1. 6.6.1 P1, patch 1, right? And that's OpenSSH. Okay, so now perform an aggressive scan. What flag isn't set under the results for port 80? Okay, so aggressive scan is attack A. So this is something, if they were running an IDS, you would definitely get picked up. Let's see what we find. Okay, so you can see a lot of stuff here, right? So you can see with this aggressive scan, hey, the host is up. It's not showing me anything about the 998 closed ports. Here's that port 22. It's using protocol 2.0. Here's that SSH's host key. And then here's port 80, HTTPD 2.4.7 Apache. Right, and it's asking what flag isn't set. It's HTTP only flag. It gives all sorts of other stuff here. HTTP title for that web page is damn vulnerable web app. Right, so this box is probably made for penetration into Apache 2.4.7 robots.txt has a disallowed entry, right? So just outside of the box here, if we go to, what was that? It's port 80 on 10.10.121, 10.10.121, 237. All right, so damn vulnerable web application. I already know that if I go to robots.txt, one entry was disallowed /, so it's saying that don't crawl this site. So if you see more than one there, you'll see hopefully another page that you can maybe pull up that's being hidden, stuff like that. Okay, so the last thing we need to do for this room is a script scan. So we'll do script vuln. This can take a little while to run, and they want to answer with the name of the vulnerability. So it's going to run vulnerability scripts on this box. Going to try and see if anything matches with CVEs. While that's running, we can just go ahead and look up some of those. So if I go out here to exploit DB, these are all vulnerabilities. So if I was doing some enumeration here, Apache 2.4.7, Apache 2.4.7. Right, and I can already see that there are some vulnerabilities from 2016 and 2014 on Apache 2.4.7. So grossly out of date. One of them is remote code execution, it looks like. The other one's a denial of service, so this is probably what I'm going to find here on this scan. Alright, I can download that exploit, I can just view it. It doesn't have a CVE associated with it, and here's that exploit itself. Right, so if I wanted to download this, and then a lot of places you can find a walkthrough on how to run it, right? Uninitialized memory that can be turned into a code execution, Apache 2 requests using OpenSSL seal. What denial of service attack is this box susceptible to? So it specifically wants to know about the denial of service attack. So if I go back here, it's probably this guy right here. Mod underscore status might be the answer. If we can't get that text just right, it wants the section title in the scan output. So we'll look at the scan output whenever this finishes. And then once that's done, for the next time I go through a box, I'm going to want to go through blue. I think that's the last thing in the getting started section for TryHackMe is go through the box blue and actually do a penetration on it. So that'll probably be for this evening, would be my guess. Okay, so again, a lot of these, yeah, it's super boring to watch in a stream, a pen Nmap scan just sit here and not run. But a lot of these, you know, you'll do and then you'll go out and kind of work on some other stuff while it's happening, some passive recon or what have you. While that's running, I'll go ahead and just show you guys a couple things that I use. So, talked about it in past streams, but Microsoft OneNote, right? Here was a scan I did, and I just took a screenshot. I use a program called GreenShot for that. You can do the nice red boxes around stuff to point out things that would go into a report. So I'd probably use this specific Nmap scan in a report. All right, this is showing all the ports that are open on this box. This is showing what version of software they're running. All right, important that you show host identification when you do stuff like that. So I have the command I used, and then I have the output. This is Microsoft OneNote, pretty useful for tabbing stuff out. So I would have, you know, I would probably just make a whole notebook on a new pen test, and then I could have everything in here, hosts, scans, and everything. 5 stages of ethical hacking that you're going to use on every assessment you do. So reconnaissance information gathering, 2 types here, active and passive, right? Active is what we're doing right now with running that Nmap scan, which is still going. Passive would be more like going out to Google, doing a domain whois on their website, learning information about the company, finding people that work there, seeing if you can find their usernames based on their email addresses, see if they've had compromised passwords, getting all that documentation done ahead of time. And that can be some of the boring parts of this job. Writing reports is probably the other part, but also super important, right? Because that's how you prove that you did your work for that company and get that paycheck. Okay. And then scanning and enumeration. Right, again, we are doing that right now. We are scanning with Nmap. Okay, so that's Microsoft OneNote. I'm not going to take notes on this box. There's really not much of a need to here. But we'll keep checking on this Nmap scan. Let's see, other stuff. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about while this goes? Here's another couple other things that we can chat about. So VeteranSec. VeteranSec is a veteran cybersecurity company. They are an organization that I belong to. My blogs get posted with them as well. Great company, super interesting, do a great job of taking care of veterans, have a lot of great resources, even for people that aren't. A lot of links, a lot of good stuff. If you need a cybersecurity blog to go follow, I highly recommend them. A lot of the stuff is geared toward vets, but a lot of stuff applies across the board. They've got reviews of SANs, hackboxes, live streams, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so anyways, our scan is done here. So let's see what we find. We find script execution failed. So what do they want? They want me to put in what DOS attack is this box susceptible. Answer with the name for the vulnerability that is given as the section title. Okay, so probably slow Allura. Let's see. Section title. So that's all under port 80. So I'm betting it's this HTTP tac slow loris tac check. See if that's right. That is correct. Okay, but you can see here it ran all these different scripts checking for vulnerabilities. It did some enumeration. Look, there's a robots file. Hey, there's a potentially interesting directory with a listing. And we can go and play with some of this while we're sitting here. So login.php, right? Could be an admin access. Yeah, no shit. Robots.txt. Hey, there's a config directory. Look, that's a finding, right? Again, it's telling me what service I'm running. It's giving me access to backup files. Let's see, /docs. Oh yeah, hey, look at this. Here's a PDF. This is the official documentation for this web application. Right, and this DVWA is a web app made for practicing web application pen testing. So these are the kind of things, you know, they have an HTTP form brute force login page where you can show the insecurity weak passwords. It's made for this kind of stuff. So none of this is surprising to us. /external. It's another directory, right? This is all stuff that you would do in your reconnaissance. I've got a CAPTCHA here with a library that I might be able to mess with. I've got all sorts of stuff. But the denial of service attack, yeah, that's one that came out in 2009. There's the CVE for it. All right, so all sorts of fun stuff. A Fallen Hope, why VMware over Hyper-V VirtualBox or QEMU? Personal preference. Completely personal preference. I like the layout of VMware. I like the tab browsing. I have used both VirtualBox and Hyper-V before. Hyper-V I find is a little bit slower than I would like. Just a lot of overhead, I think, in the software. VMware I have a professional license for that I got when I was a student at Western Governors University. So that's the one I've kind of stuck with since then. VirtualBox is fine. I don't really care for the layout, but it is free completely. VMware Player is also free and works well. That's the only reason, really. I just like it. Personal preference. Other things we talked about in the last one, aside from Nmap, right? Nmap's kind of the go-to. There's another one called Mass Scan. Does similar things, right? Mass Scan is another scanner. Mass Scan was made to do stuff really quickly, right? Mass Scan, fast port scanner, right? Like you could scan all of the 10 network for web servers on port 80, right? Please don't go out and use this on the internet. All this stuff, just use it on your own network that you're practicing on, and all this stuff keep using for ethical reasons. Okay, so that was all for that room on RP Nmap. Hope that was useful for showing just a little bit of what Nmap can do. I'm hoping that we can get an actual network put together. That's kind of my goal, is eventually for this stream, is to download like a good 30 or 40 machines off VulnHub, get them all in my VMware, and then we can put them all in one network together, and we can go out and actually scan an entire subnet and find multiple hosts, and then pick and choose where we want to go attack. That is my long-term goal for this. Some other stuff besides VeteranSec that I'll show you guys really quick, just so this stream doesn't run super short. Yeah, the Practical Ethical Hacking course is awesome. This is a course by Heath Adams, currently offering it for $20. I am already going through the course myself, but this course goes through wireless hacking, Active Directory. They do a capstone using some downloadable stuff. Epic Games. Yeah, I play Fortnite with my kids. I have got a 10, an 8, and a 6-year-old, so actually their mom is downstairs playing Fortnite with them right now. But this course goes over kind of a day in the life of ethical hacking, note-keeping, networking, Linux, Python. If you're going to get into this, I highly recommend. Network Plus is a good way to go. Kind of basic networking, and then some basics of Linux and Python. Obviously, Kali is a Linux distro. You're going to do most of your stuff in Kali or in Parrot. And then Python is a great scripting language that is interpreted on the spot. You don't have to compile. It is the programming language that is the most commonly used for penetration testing. Right, and then it'll talk about the hacking methodology, the 5 stages of ethical hacking, and then you walk through a ton of stuff. They give you 10 vulnerable boxes to download and penetrate. You'll actually get to go through and write your own code, do some Windows Active Directory hacking, and then some post-exploitation, like, hey, now I'm in a box, how do I stay there? All sorts of stuff. Even some stuff on report writing and career advice. So, all good things, all good things. And then a couple other things. So, you saw TryHackMe, right? Hack the Box is another one, if you aren't familiar with it. Hack the Box is a great place that has kind of less guided than TryHackMe. But once you get into their site, once you join, there is a job listings page that you can go to. People can look at how well you did in Hack the Box, employers that are on there. And it's spin up a VM and go attack it, basically. All of them, you're trying to find the flags, right? You're trying to get into a user account, find the flag in the user account, and then escalate your privileges. A ton of other resources in the URHacker Discord channel. A lot of the ones that I use are in here. So some stuff on resume writing. A lot of the stuff we use, like hash cracking or decoding with CyberChef. If you're trying to learn regular expressions, regex 101 is freaking awesome. So this is, you can basically type your own regular expression test string and it'll show you what it'll come out with. So that's super cool. Some other stuff, if you're interested in building your own capture the flag platform, CTFD is pretty neat. If you're looking for that gamified experience of learning Linux, if this will come up, yeah, overthewire.org. So start at Bandit, work your way up. Maybe I'll even stream some of this at some point. It's kind of basic to start with, but hey, level 0, figure out how to SSH in. Right, then to get to level 1, hey, find this file called readme in the home directory. So here's some commands you might need to use to keep going, and it gets progressively more difficult, you know. Hey, I'm going to need to be able to sort this file or use grep to find strings in it. Hey, out here, I need to use set UID, and they give you some reading material on the commands, so it can get pretty challenging. I recommend getting all the way through level 30 before you really get into a lot of pen testing. But there's some awesome stuff in here. Awesome stuff. So those are kind of some of my basics. There's another one if you're more of a Microsoft person. Called Under the Wire. Just like Over the Wire, but it is for learning PowerShell. So you can go here, and it's the same kind of layout. Even you know, all the games are here on the side menu. Century, right? So here you're doing you have to go to their Slack and join it, and then you get credentials, and then you have to connect in with an SSH client, so you can actually SSH in on Linux, and then when you get this Windows box shell, when your path changes to this PowerShell, then you can start working through this stuff. So find the build version of PowerShell, name of commandlets, all sorts of stuff. And it's going to be useful when you pivot into pen testing on Windows boxes to know a little bit more PowerShell, because PowerShell is pretty useful on their side of the house for that kind of stuff. So next time we do this, I'll go back into TryHackMe. If we look at the dashboard, the next installment will be the Getting Started Room 5. So last one to go, it is Blue. So Blue, we get to deploy and hack into a Windows machine and look at misconfigurations in Windows. That's a walkthrough video if we get horribly stuck, but we're going to scan and learn what exploit this machine is vulnerable to. Right, Windows machines definitely will take longer to boot. You can even download it if you want. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll scan it, find out what it's vulnerable to. Play around with Metasploit. We might actually do the Metasploit room first. There's a primer on how to learn to use Metasploit, so might even do that first. In fact, that sounds like a good plan. We'll go through and learn how to use Metasploit together, and then we'll go through and penetrate Blue. But then we'll gain access to that machine, we will escalate and get administrative privileges, right? NT authority / system is what we're going to be going for. And then we'll find that non-default user's password and we'll crack it. We'll get the hash and crack it. And then we'll see if we can find the 3 flags. Which I don't know where they're at. I've never done blue before. Like I said, I got a TryHackMe subscription 2 days ago. But I appreciate the follows. That is freaking awesome, up to 11 now. If you like what you're seeing so far, I know it's a little rough, but I'm trying to keep it real. Please keep sharing my channel out. Please tune in, and if you find a schedule, you know, if evenings on Pacific Standard Time work well for you guys, then kind of when COVID-19 gets over with and we all get back to some kind of normal life, I am going to try and get on a regular streaming schedule. Probably sometime either late in the evening Pacific Standard Time or maybe super early in the evening. Really whatever works for getting viewers and for my family and my schedule. You know, right now we're all just kind of sitting at home and doing our best to stay home and stay healthy. So until next time, guys, next time will probably be later today, or definitely tomorrow. If we can't do it today, we'll go through blue. Your EST, so evening is mid-evening. Yeah, so I was thinking maybe like, I don't know, I've got kids, so it's kind of a challenge to get a good stream in when they're awake, if I'm going to do more than a good 30 minutes. But I will take all that into consideration because I definitely want to hit some of the East Coast crowd if possible as well. Really, my whole idea behind this is just to share what I know and give back what I can give back to the community, because through groups like UR-Hacker, the Cyber Mentor, VeteranSec by far, people have helped me along the way so much, and I'm still even just getting started, but anything I can do to help other people out too. So I will definitely take a look at when I can stream that'll help the East Coasters as well. Talk the wife into giving me a kind of dedicated hour, maybe a few times a week, where I can get on and do a little bit of this stuff. So other than that, if you guys have any questions or anything, want to shoot me a message, my website is linked in, if I can type, my website is linked in the chat. I'll pull it up here really quick. Feel free to leave me a comment. I promise it's mostly cybersecurity, but not all. My last post was how to get started in cybersecurity. A little bit about my background. Promise it's not all cybersec though. You're going to run across some politics. You're going to run across some other stuff about the Navy. That being said, if you like what you see, please leave me a comment. I will be linking my stream up into the website as well once I get a little bit more work done on it. So until next time, guys, we're going to go hit Metasploit in blue. I'll see you guys later.